Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yuddhya. As is our line of thinking, so is our perception of the world. If we are the devotees of the Lord, then the same verse will give us a different shade of meaning. If we are a person of commitment to achieve success in life, the same verse gives or delivers a different message. In short, we get the message from this world according to our own preparation. If we have prepared that the whole world is my enemy, then even the God becomes our enemy. If we have this notion that nobody likes me, then nobody can help such a person. Therefore, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Ma Manusmaradyuttecha, the teacher tells us, therefore, hey Arjun, if the last thought of your life determines your next life, then the only option left is that we must have a proper thought at the time of death. Point number one. Point number two. When the death is going to arrive, we do not know. Point number three. Therefore, we have to have a proper set of mind 24 hours of the day and throughout our life. This is the meaning. And what it means we have to be alert 24 hours a day. Normally, when we talk about spiritual practice, our understanding of spiritual practice is go and sit somewhere for half an hour, take the mala in the hand and start cursing the whole world. And after the world is exhausted, then curse our own mind. The mind is exhausted, then curse the Guru. Why did he give me such a long mantra? And after that struggle is over, thank God. For what? This, torture is over. And then we imagine, these days I am doing spiritual sound. No. Spiritual life is Yuddhacha. Be alert 24 hours a day. You will see accidents happen only when we are not alert. You cannot blame the world. It is we who have to be alert. And that the more we are alert, be very alert. The more we are alert, the more we are in the present. See, very simple mathematics. And the more intensely we are in the present, the more close we are to the presence, the divinity. And to start living the presence, that is why it is called as the presence of mind. It is not called a present of mind. Mind is never a present, it is a curse. See? So if we have to understand this message of the Lord, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Ma Manusmaradyuttecha. Therefore, Arjun, if you really want to lead a scientifically based life, first and last principle is remain ever alert. See, the life becomes so beautiful. And then the question is, what is the meaning of remaining alert all the time? Sarveshu kaleshu. Mai arpita mano buddhi. Mana and buddhi. These two instruments through which we come in contact with the world. Mind is a state of thoughts when possibilities of option is vibrant. Means what? Shall I go for the lecture? I think I should go. But it is raining so badly. I think I should not go. But if I don't go, what will I do here? Whole day I was getting bored. I think it is better to go. Anyway, you prepare and come out. Instead of going to the lecture, why not go to a hotel and have a cup of tea? And then we go to the hotel. And there we come across Mr. Gupta. Are tu yahan kahan hai? And then he says, Gupta ji says, chalo picture ko jate. This kind of state of mind is called, state of thoughts is called as mind. So, Mai Arpita Manaha, mind is this. Buddhi. Buddhi means what? The decisive state of the thoughts. I have decided to go to the top and I shall go. May the heaven collapse. See? So, Mai Arpita Manaha Buddhi, this mind and intellect together, that means when our mind is having no doubt about living in the present is the ultimate in our life. See, there is no doubt about it. How there is no doubt about it? Do we have a choice to live yesterday? If you are Hindi speaking, yes. Because in Hindi, yesterday and tomorrow is the same word, isn't it? कल मैं भूखा था, कल मैं भूखा नहीं रहूंगा. So, from the verb, we understand the meaning of kal is yesterday or tomorrow. But the truth is, we cannot say that yesterday I am happy. Yesterday is a past tense. You cannot be happy yesterday. You can be happy only today. And you can never imagine you will be happy tomorrow. He who is miserable today can never be happy tomorrow. What is the reason? Tomorrow never comes. And today alone is the truth. The ultimate is, all of us have only one choice, and that to live in the present. This conviction is called as Mai Arpita Manaha. Surrendering our mind to the God does not mean put a lot of makeup and go and hit your head against the feet of the Mahatma. Today somebody came in the morning. Every day he comes. I don't know where from who comes. Then puts the head and starts, rubbing to my feet. So when third, fourth time it was, I said, protect my, keep away. From there you do the namaskar. I have got the remote control. Don't come near me. See? The surrender of the mind is doubtless existence. We have all doubt about everything. A doubting Tom can never be happy. Therefore, when the teacher is telling here, if you really want to live successfully, scientifically in this world, first of all, remove the doubt regarding can we live yesterday, can we live tomorrow? No, no, no. We have no choice but to live only today. Now what will happen? When you are living only today, you are not carrying the load of the total past called as the ego. What is ego? Ego, we use this word 100 times. What is the meaning of ego? Ego is nothing but carrying the load of the past. And that loaded donkey, the ego, is all the time hoping for the best in the future. See? The moment you have dropped the past, you don't care for the future. And when you live alertly in the present, your future is automatically carved out. See? Don't have doubt about it. This is what the teacher is telling here. Mai arpita manaha. Otherwise, if you go by the traditional way of talking, Mai arpita mano buddhi, go and talk to the Lord. Krishna, 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 why you have created this world and why there is so much misery in this world? Why the people are dying? Those who should not die, they are dying. And those who should die, like my in-laws, they are not dying. Why? And then we imagine that I have surrendered to the Lord. See? That is not surrender. That is a cartoon of surrender. Mai arpita manaha. Now second thing. Mai arpita buddhi. Only absence of doubt is not the meaning of commitment. See? I have no doubt about certain things. That does not mean I am committed to certain things. See? So these are the two aspects. First, living our life on the foundation of doubtlessness of this scheme of living. And second thing, committed to live this knowledge. When we are not committed to live this knowledge, we carry the load of knowledge on our head, and in addition to a miserable entity, we are educated miserable. See? Then you will see educated people are more miserable. Uneducated people are very happy. I won't give the name, place and the people, but two girls I know. One is very down-to-earth simpleton, not even a matriculate. She is so simple and she doesn't have any inhibition about anything and so cheerful and happy. Never expects anything from anybody in the world. And whatever she does, fully, sincerely involved. Even if I am passing, even if she has seen, she says, Swamiji, I can't do namaskar to you because I am busy. See the joy in her life. And the educated one, all the time trying to pull the leg and given a chance the lungi. See, that is not surrender. That is not commitment. Commitment is readiness to change ourselves. Mai arpita manaha buddhi. See, the whole life will change. Mai arpita mano buddhi. He who has these two qualities, doubtless understanding that we have no choice but to live in the present, and second thing, commitment to this knowledge. From this moment onward, all the past is buried and no future is projected. Then see the joy of living. Such a person, be very attentive, such a person who is all the time cheerful and happy, mam eva eshasi asamshayam. He is certainly one with me. Now be attentive. What is the meaning of God realization? Gujarati. God realization is being eternally happy in spite of the world. That is God realization. God realization is that, I was waiting. Krishna was going. He said, hey, what are you doing? Nothing, I am waiting for Krishna. I am Krishna. Yes, you are Krishna. To a papi like me, can Bhagwan come and show himself? I can't believe in you. Samshayatma vinashyati. See? Therefore, God realization has this simple meaning. The more we remain cheerful and happy, and we can remain cheerful and happy only when we are in the absolute present all the time. The moment we transcend time, we are happy. As in deep sleep. In deep sleep, there is no past, there is no future. The result is, we are so happy that our happiness comes out as a snore. Isn't it? And then we snore away the sleep of other people. We don't get disturbed. There was a person, he went to the doctor. Doctor Sahab, I am so fed up. So Doctor Sahab said, what can I do? What is your problem? My problem is, Doctor Sahab, I snore so loudly that because of my snoring, I get up from my sleep. Now see the problems. What do I do? So the doctor said, sleep in the other room. What else can you do? So, when we transcend time, then alone we can be happy. Transcending time means living only in the present. When you live only in the present without the past and the future is divine presence. Asamshayam, don't doubt about this. Give it a try. The more we understand this basic, you will see all your spirituality is done. Otherwise, our spirituality becomes a torture. Guru Maharaj has told to do this mantra 36 times, every day, 36 malas. And the mantra is not small, om, finish. No, a long mantra. Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim. And you forget where from you started, where to apply om, where to remove the om. And get frustrated. Can't there be short mantra? Because we want everywhere shortcut. On our desktop, we have got shortcuts. Click, shortcut comes out. In the same manner, friends, there cannot be a better way of living than what Bhagavan Krishna is telling us. Now, what will be the immediate effect of this? Immediate effect is, if you are happy and cheerful, first, you are never tired. 2, people are not tired of you. See? Who wants a grouchy face around? If we are cheerful and happy, we are not tired, people are not tired, and the life is lived. Death is not lived. Normally, we live death. All the time carrying the load of the same dead past. I was this, I was that, I was doing this, I was doing that. The other day, somebody asked me, I was in UK, very sincere, dedicated seeker asked, Swamiji, I have never gone to India, but I am thinking of going to some ashram and spending some life there so that I can learn something from the ashrams. I said, you must go and stay. And then you will come to know Paramatma has out-of-boundary areas. Like there is out-of-bound area. So gods are prohibited from entering the ashrams. So you go there, live yourself, and then you will see that there is no trace of God anywhere. And when you will drop the idea that you have to serve that Lord outside in the world, that very kick will take you within. So that experience of going and staying in the ashrams will be a good investment. that thereafter you will really become introvert. मोको कहाँ ढूंढे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ. Kabir Ji Maharaj says, friends, he who is content and happy, Atmandevatmana tushtaha, he who is content and happy with himself, nobody in the world can have the freedom to disturb such a great master. Therefore, Maya arpita mano buddhi mama eva eshasi asamchayam. Friends, few important points. If our goal is clear, you will never have doubt about our spiritual practice. For example, evening I have to come here for talking on Bhagavad Gita with you all and share my joy that the Lord gives me. And morning I go to Sharda Sangeet Vidyalaya and there on Bhagavad. Now these goals are clear. So nothing in the world can justify that I don't want to go. Once you have a clear goal and committed to that goal, you can always find out how the difficulties can be solved. But whenever difficulties arise in our life, that is a clear indication we have no goal nor we have dedication to the goal. Maya arpita mano buddhi mama eva eshasi asamchayam. Now, how it is to be achieved? Now the scheme of spiritual practice is given. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam yati parthanuchintayan. Here the Patanjali Maharshi is brought by Bhagavan Sri Krishna. In this 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, all the different paths leading to the reality are as if summarized by the Lord. Now here, this is from the Patanjali Yoga Darshan. Patanjali Yoga Darshan, how did Krishna know? Because Patanjali Maharshi existed before Bhagavan Krishna was born. Oh, he was younger than Patanjali, yes. So, the practice, Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena. How do we achieve this? Maya arpita mano buddhi. In the Patanjali Yoga Darshan, the spiritual practice indicated for the highest quality student is that yoga is defined as yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is absorption of all the thoughts from the mind and reverting back to the consciousness. That is yoga. And how do we achieve that? That is achieved Abhyasa Vairagyabhyam Tan Nirodha. All the thoughts are suspended from eruption by the technique of dispassion and practice. Now you see, our problem is, Swamiji, normally I am alright, but whenever I sit for meditation, terrible thoughts come in my mind. Normally I am alright, but when I start doing the japa, this is the typical Bombay English. Whenever I start doing the japa, what happens, that, mind runs away, I don't know what to do. Now, instead of complaining, inquire, where does the mind go? Mind will go only to that to which we are attached. See, attachment does not mean holding on to something. Attachment means higher the frequency of thoughts created for anything in this world, more intense is the attachment. Lesser is the frequency of thoughts created for anything in this world, weaker is the attachment. Zero is the frequency of thoughts created about anything, you have no attachment. Now analyze your mind. When the mind runs here and there, you will come to know that whatever you are attached to that only the mind goes. See? When the Kargil episode happened in the Lord's creation, that time there was not much of repercussion in the whole world except Indians. But when the WT, without ticket corporation, when that happened, then ha ha hu hu ha ha, because that is important for us. Kargil is not important for us. Why should we? Then we are philosophers. See? Friends, therefore, if we really want to attain that, first we have to learn to control the mind. And how to control the mind? Abhyasa yoga yuktena. Practice, practice, practice. Now be sincere to yourself. Don't answer this question to me or to anybody. How many times we have sincerely wanted that our mind should remain peaceful, cheerful, and for that alone we are doing practice? Again I repeat the question. How many efforts we have put right from our childhood to look after the health of the mind? Because the thoughts come in the mind, that doesn't mean we are thinkers. Because something is growing in the garden, that does not mean it is a garden. It will be only weeds. A garden is that vegetation where weeds are rooted out and the flower beds are created. In the same manner, because the uncontrolled weeds of thoughts are constantly erupting in our mind, does it mean we are thinkers? No. Now see how many times we have sincerely applied our mind on this. Therefore, abhyasa yoga yuktena. Again and again, focus attention only on this. When I interact with the world, don't bother about the world. Bother about what happens to your mind. If the mind is all the time disturbed, frustrated, better stop reacting with the world. The purity of mind, the tranquility of the mind, and the equanimity of the mind together constitute the highest wealth in the whole universe. Therefore, abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa, by such a mind which is engaged in this practice of controlling the mind, chetasa nanyagamina. Now such a mind, because totally weaned away from the whole world, no anyagamina. Now the mind is no more attracted in the ticklings of this worldly enchantment. See? When we have something wrong in our stomach, the food may be there. But I know I like this food very much, but I don't think I should take, because, it has already started liquidating. Instead of the ego getting the liquidating, it has started the body getting liquidated. I should not eat. No, but you like it, so we specially prepared for you. You eat on my behalf. I cannot eat. No, I brought it for you from such a long distance and you are not taking. I will not take. Such a dispassion? It is not dispassion. But I know it is harmful to my survival. In the same manner, when we come to discover our attachment to the people, to the relations, to the world, to the objects, to the projects, to this I had to do, that I had to do. When we come to discover this is detrimental to our spiritual growth, you will automatically have dispassion. But when we are not convinced, anyway, you brought me such a great love, I should not eat, but I will eat. And then destroy yourself. Therefore, no anyagamina. None other than the truth is only search. Enough of running like a beggar in this world. Chetasa ananyagamina. Then what will happen? Paramam purusham divyam yati parthanu chintayan. Such a mind which is now no more running amok in this world like the uncontrolled children of the rich people. Recently there was an accident, Worli face. How was that accident? Uncontrolled children of the filthy rich people. What is the uncontrolled things? They have never learned or heard the word no in their life. Whatever I want, I must get. Whatever I want, I must get. Two things we have to learn. Ability to say no to the world. And also ability to listen no from the world. When we don't train ourselves in that life, we become uncontrolled. The result is disaster. Therefore, once this mind is controlled fully, it is no more running without any control anymore here and there. Such a mind is available for higher contemplation. Not any mind. See how important it is. When we have recognized the importance of it. This example I gave you a dozen times. When we have recognized the importance of clean clothes and we respect the clean clothes. With such clothes on, we will not think of going and sitting in any dirty place because we respect it. In the same manner, when we are convinced of this fact, that the pure mind, undisturbed mind, controlled mind, tranquil mind, equanimous mind is the highest wealth, then you will never allow anything may happen. But the purity of my mind, the tranquility of my mind will not be bargained with anything in the whole world. Such a mind has a quality of contemplating on something higher. And what is that contemplation on higher? Paramam Purusham Divyam Partha Anuchintayanam Yati. Anu means afterwards. After we have discovered dispassion for the world and after we have studied, reflected and contemplated on the truth, and now the mind is going nowhere else. Be very attentive. When we are convinced of this truth, that thought-free mind is consciousness. In this pause, if you have remained without reaction, in this silence, if thoughts are not disturbing you, you are one with the reality. This is called as Anuchintayan. We have to be convinced of this. That the barrier between me and my real nature is the curtain of thoughts. In Prakriti, there is no problem. In Purusha, there is no problem. The problem is on the bridge. Purusha and Prakriti, they are bridged by the bridge of mind. Friends, nobody constructs a house on the bridge. We don't have to stay on the bridge. We have only one option. Either go to the Purusha or go to Prakriti, go to sleep. The moment you are on the bridge, you have to take one direction. You cannot go and say, "Acha lagta hai." No choice. And how many times we have gone back to Prakriti, the deep sleep, come out, go to deep sleep, come out. 100,000 times we have slept and woken up. What next? The same wretched, dirty life? Are we not tired of it? Can't we think of some higher possibility? And when some higher possibility is thought of, understand, sadhureva samantavyaha, a highest inauguration of the best event in his life has happened. This is what is called as Partha Anuchintayan. Then such a person is without any effort. Whenever he is having any free time, switch off the mind and be, just be. In being is freedom. In becoming is bondage. Let us discover this freedom. And this discovery of the freedom, Bhagavad Sri Krishna says, Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati. Param Purusha. So, we know in English grammar, and for that purpose, in every grammar, in every language, there are three persons. First person, I. Second person, thou, you. Third person, he, she, it, they. Be very attentive. I am not teaching you grammar, but only revising your knowledge about grammar. When we talk about these three persons, I is first person, thou and you is second person, he, she, it, they is third person. Sir, when you are talking about the second and third person, you are using thou and you, and when you are talking about the third person, you are using he, she, it singular and they plural. But why don't you use singular and plural in the first person? Probably you do not know. No, sir, we know. Then why don't you say I and we is the first person? Now be very attentive. When the second person is made into plural, it remains plural. Rather, it remains second person, not plural. When you make the third person plural, it becomes the third person. When you make the first person plural, it includes the second and the third person also. See? When I say you all are very wise people, so I save myself from wisdom. But when I say we are wise people, there you are included in me and I am included in you. See? So that which does not exclude anything is referred here as Paramam Purusham. That Purusha who does not have the differentiation of first person, second person, third person. And that is Divyam Purusham. It is not a relative existence. See, you are you because of I. And he, she, it are he, she, it because of I and you. If I disappears, where are you? And if you are not there, about whom will I talk? So everything is dependent on the I who appears to be in relation to you. But originally, actually, this I is independent of you add he, she in there. See, that is what is called as Paramam Divyam Purusham Yati Partha Anuchintayan. But this will not happen. Just like that now, Ram 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 Ram. Dudh garam ho raha hai. Ram 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 Ram. Nothing will happen. Anuchintayan. It has to be total freedom from the thought eruptions. When the thought eruption stops and the sleep is not initiated, that is called in second chapter by the Lord, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Sayyami. Sayyami, he who has full control over his mind, etc., he has discovered that non-dual reality to whom the whole world is sleeping, and he has disapproved the presence of the plurality to which the world is awakened. So, Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati Parthanu Chintayan. Now the question is, such a wonderful thing is going to happen, but we do not have anything to contemplate about. You said Anuchintayan, think in line of the advice given by the teacher or the scriptures. Chintanam, Anuchintanam. Chintanam means what? The truth is like this. For example, Ekameva Dvitiya. Now this is the declaration of the scriptures. Now, thinking on this one word, Ekam Eva Advitiyam. What does it mean? Now start thinking. I don't know how to think. ठीक है, एक कप चाय ले आओ, एकम. Get one cup of tea, ekam. Eva, only tea. Advitiyam, don't drink coffee, okay? See, our thinking can go maximum up to the stomach, not beyond that. Another word, I'll give an example. We are told again and again that we are someone other than the body. So this is the statement. Now you think over it. Now start thinking. I am other than the body, I am other than the body. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am other than the body, I am. But problem is, Swamiji, people don't appreciate that. People think I have gone mad. When I am ready to bark with them, then they think I am wise. And see, we are, grastas, and therefore qualified to be miserable. Think. Anuchintayan. Then we have to think on the statement of the scriptures. What does it mean? See, all our scientific investigation, all our discriminating power becomes blunt the moment you start thinking about yourself. Because if you start thinking about yourself, I am a man. Sir, we are thinking that we are other than the body. Okay, I am not a man. Maybe I am a woman. You cannot be. Maybe in between, impossible. Then I am other than the body. Maybe I am Lohana Kachi. I cannot forget this Lohana Kachi. One small child. How? This is what is called as we get lost into non-existence. Lohana Kachi is not something solid reality. Then that small child from Bombay only, I was talking to him. I said, hey, are you a good Jew? No. Then I am a Kachi Lohana. Small fellow, Kachi Lohana. I said, do you know how to tie a Kachi? Kachi Lohana. See? Now, if I am other than the Kachi Lohana means what? This is Anuchintayan. In deep sleep, whether we are a man or a woman, Whether we are young or old, are we educated or overeducated? Are we beautiful or horrible? Think. That time we have the experience of our being. That being which does not warrant the identification with the gross body is the reality. Hold on to that. The moment you hold on to that, all the changes in the body and the changes in the gross world will have no impact on you. And this is not only hearsay, it is our experience. Earlier the body was small, cuddling, chubby, sweetie. Then it started growing vertically, horizontally. Now it is hanging like on the hanger. But nobody has experience that I have grown. See? This our own experience has to be recognized. That's it. And all the changes that has happened has really not influenced us. And therefore old people again and again assert, Swamiji, bodily I may be old, but in heart I am young. Then heart is not the bloody heart. The heart is the reality they refer to. This line of contemplation is called as Anuchintayan. Now here, in the 9th verse, the teacher gives the pointer. These are called as pointers. Like, when we are going, the arrow goes. Vimantal, aerodrome. Bapre. Upari. No. That is not aerodrome. It's only an arrow. You have to follow that arrow. Okay. Don't hold on to the board. In the same manner, don't hold on to the word. Words are only the pointers, and understand the meaning of the words. Words without meaning is a noise. Isn't it? Suppose somebody comes and talks to you, and he says, King Pong Nang Tung Ta. And I stay like that. I had a camp with all the Far Eastern people. With Louis Moon and Hong Kong. I said, hey, I can't remember your names. I'll call you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's here. Then I gave them the batch number and 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, you remember your number. So, that language which I don't understand, whatever good words they speak to me, bad words they speak to me, it is only a noise. Is it not? If this is really understood by you, now tell me, Aham Brahmasmi. What is Aham? I don't know. What is Brahma? Four-headed or no-headed or Sahasra Shirsha, 1,000-headed? Asmi. Why they have dropped the ta? I remember my wife. Asmita is there. Aham Brahmasmita. Why not like that? See? So when we say Bhagavan, when we say Bhagavan Sri Krishna, when we say surrender, when we say Aham Brahmasmi, when we say I love you, what is the meaning of love? Think. When, friends, the words do not carry meaning, it is only a noise. And when the words are not supported by the experience of the meaning, those words do not carry any weight. That is why when some Mahatmas talk, it goes right deep into our system. And when our own elders tell at home, Swamiji, I don't know, when we tell them the same thing, they don't listen. When you tell, they listen. That is why people, whatever they want to tell their children, I am used there. See? That is why let us try to understand the meaning of each words. Now, which are those pointers? First, Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Anoraniyan Anusmaredyaha Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasat Parastar. So these are different pointers. It is not only one. No, you have got many choice. That is the beauty. If we have the understanding about the truth exhaustively, then we are not obsessed. See, suppose I am a Krishna Bhakta, then only thing I can think about great place is only Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Rama comes, hey, don't bring that Rama. I don't like that fellow. One person, a good friend of mine in Jaipur, his father's and mother's names were Ram and Janaki. Very nice person, rich man. And in a village from Jaipur, about an hour drive, he has constructed Ram Janaki Dham in the memory of his parents. And he took me there one day to visit and bless. So I went there. Now what do you expect? Ram Janaki Dham means what? There will be a temple of Rama and Janaki, is it not? There is no trace of either Rama or Sita. Krishna is standing there. And he was talking everything about Krishna, right from the beginning. I said, will you please answer my one question? He said, yes. Why don't you mention this as Radha Krishna Dham? He said, Swamiji, my mother and father's name were Ram Janaki. What can I do? I can't change my parents' name. I said, then at least we should establish one Ram Janaki temple. Hey, I don't like that both of them. I say, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? Right from the beginning, Rama had been creating problems for everybody. His brothers, his father died because of him. And he went and created problem everywhere. And now also the Rama Janmabhoomi is creating more problems. I just don't want you. Now tell me, when we have understood only one aspect of the reality, we become obsessed. On the contrary, if our understanding about the reality is exhaustive, our obsession will disappear. And we will be able to discover the divine presence not only in the holy things, but even in the ugly things. All the duality of dharma, adharma disappears. Nachiket says in the Kathopanishad, Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat kruta krutat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yattat pashyasi tadvada. Oh Lord, don't try to frighten me. If you do this thing, you will go to hell. Even the hell cannot exist without God. So when the God is in the hell as well as in the heaven, why opt only for the heaven? Enjoy here and go to hell and trouble God. See? So don't frighten me with the hell and heaven. Don't frighten me with the sin and the merit. Don't entangle me in cause and effect. Don't try to influence me, the influence of time. Tell me the truth right now and here. Then alone the truth is correctly understood. So the first pointer is Kavim. Kavi does not mean a poet. Whenever there are many grahas, so Mangal, Bud, Guru, Shukra, Shani, Rahu, Ketu. Similarly, there is one graha called as Murphy. This graha I have recently discovered. And whenever this Murphy graha starts becoming operational in your life, If something can go wrong, it will. You all must have studied Murphy's laws. Murphy's laws tell this. If something can go wrong, it will. There are many sub-laws. Like one of the law is, the other lane moves faster. When you are driving the car, the other lane always moves faster. When you go for buying something or doing something on the counter, just the time you reach, the counter closes. This is called as Murphy's law. So whenever Murphy starts operating in your life, then Kavi, a poet, comes in your life. And when a poet comes in your life, he will torture you by making you to listen to his poetry. This is not the meaning of Kavi here. Kavi means Krantadarshi. He who had the vision to peep into the future and make the future as the present. Again I repeat, Kavi is that vision wherein we are able to peep beyond the barrier of the present and go to the infinite future. That is called as the Kavi. Now to understand this, take an example. This example I gave you earlier. If somebody is standing at the base of our this Prempuri ashram, how much you can see around? Very little area. And suppose I go and stand on the top of the building. From there I see very large, wide area. So a particular car, suppose it is coming. That car will be known to me before it is known to you. So that which was a future for you was a present for me. Clear? How this happens? Because I have reason above. When you rise above the relations, the husband, the wife, the property, the business, the government, the politics, and then the body, and then I have done this thing, I have not done this thing, and the sentiments and achievements and failures. When you start rising above, and start living as consciousness, in consciousness, past, present, future fuse to be the presence. He who has come to this experience is called as Kavim. Kavim Puranam. Second pointer. Purana doesn't mean old. Old is old, not necessary. Mohenjo-daro, what is that? Harappa. Only the clay pieces. The other day I was in Cochin, before I came here. For the first time in my life, I came across a girl, and the age of the girl was 7 or 8 years, maybe in class 3 or 2. Very sweet, unassuming girl. Parents were talking in that big marriage I went for, and she was sitting on one stool or somewhere and sitting all alone. I said, "Hey, come here." She said, "Wait." She went to her parents. He is calling me, shall I go? So she said, "Go, Swami is calling you, you are lucky." So she came. Then I started talking to her. I said, "Hey, in which class you are?" She said, "Class 3, 4, 5, something like that." "What do you want to become?" Now from that child, "Swamiji, I want to become an archaeologist." इस उम्र में बुढ़ापा, देखो, love between husband and wife grows with the age if the husband is an archaeologist, not otherwise. So, Purana does not mean old. Purana means ancient yet immutable. In Sanskrit, it is broken as Pura api Nama. Although the most ancient, yet not corrupted by the influence of time. What is that now? Find out. Do we have ever the experience that we are born? No. Do we have ever the experience that we are growing? No. People have to tell us. See? One day this happened with a Sindhi girl, a round figure. Her mother was tired. Swamiji, how many times I told her, reduce, she doesn't listen. And she was so convinced that she is perfectly alright. And then I spoke to her and explained and gave her some exercises. And when she has reduced almost more than half, then I asked her, now tell me what experience you had as a moti. And now you have the experience of a slim figure. Do you find any difference? If you feel there is no difference, again grow. I have no problem. You know what she told me? Swamiji, I have never experienced that life is possible to a thin person. And what is the meaning of a thin body? Think. A child who has never experienced a thin body, right from the childhood, if he is a gol matol, for that person, there is no imagination that the body can be slim. See? Here, Pura api Nama. Do we have the experience that we are growing? No. Do we have the experience we have become old? No. People have to inform us that now you should control eating. You are eating too much. Daughters tell the father very openly because wife is run over. Nobody can do anything to it. And then the father starts thinking, okay, now everybody has to teach me. So nobody has experience of himself changing. That unchanging reality is Puranam, Kaving Puranam, Anushasitaram. Anushasitaram is the controller. See, without the support of this reality, nothing can ever exist. The best example I find in Panchadashi, where the teacher tells, when a person complains to the teacher, sir, I am having, this problem of health, that problem of health. And the teacher congratulates, hey, congratulations. For my ill health, you are congratulating me. Yes. Why? You are alive. Health and disease is possible only for the living body, not for the dead body. So the one who is supporting the health as well as the disease, the one who is supporting the birth as well as the death, the one who is supporting the ugliness of our actions as well as the nobility of our actions, the one which is supporting the cruelty of our thoughts and the creativity of our thoughts. It is the same reality. Anushasitaram, controller of everything. Find out, contemplate on that. There, Anoho Aniyan, subtler than the subtlest. Subtler than the subtlest. The best example I can tell you from the words of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. His interpretations are out of this world. He explained when somebody asked him a question, why the Mother Kali is blue? Why Krishna is blue? Why Rama is blue? What is the reason? And are they really blue? You know what was his answer? Such a wonderful one. When I read it, I was so touched. He said, when you look at the colorless space, the space is nearest to you. When you push the space away from you, it gathers a blue color. In the same manner, when the divinity is pushed away from us in the form of duality, it gathers the color of blue Krishna, blue Rama, blue Kali Mata. When you discover that Rama, Krishna, Kali Mata, they are none other than the me, the color will disappear. See how beautiful it is. The blueness is not the color of infinite. The blueness is an illusion of distance. There is no distance between me, the Jiva, and me, the Paramatma. There is no distance between me, the wave, and me, the ocean. There is no distance between me, the wave, ocean, the effect and the cause, and the water, which is beyond the cause and effect. This understanding alone is meant here as Anoho Aniyan, subtler than the subtlest. And that which is subtler than the subtlest can accommodate everything. The space which is keeping the whole cosmos in its womb, the same space we have kept in our head. Isn't it? So, from the space's point of view, whether you will call the space as the big or the small, therefore, Anoho Aniyan, it is subtler than the subtlest, and the other aspect is Mahato Mahiyan, which is to be understood. This comes from the Upanishad. So, Anoho Aniyan, Yaha Anusmaret, he who in this manner goes on this contemplating on this again and again, Anusmaret Yaha. Then further, Sarvasya Dhataram, and he is the Dhata, the supporter of everything. The inert matter or the conscious creation, the goodness or the badness, everything is supported by the one reality. Sarvasya Dhataram, and the most wonderful part is Achintya Rupam. Be very attentive. When you stop thinking, there you are. Stop thinking, but don't go to sleep. Because we have trained our mind. Whenever the mind stops thinking, we go to sleep. And therefore, many seekers have this problem. Whenever they sit for meditation, they go to sleep. Because the distance between the sleep and the realization is so thin. Both of them are almost identical. In sleep, you know not. In your own self, you are established in that experience. See? Rest of the conditions are same. Therefore, Achintya Rupam. When we are able to maintain the thought-free mind, this is one of the highest spiritual practice. Like the other day I told you, try this. Keep a clock in front of you with a second hand and sit, chair or wherever you want, with a commitment not to go to sleep. And then move your vision along with that second hand and see that without counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when you count, you create thoughts. Don't count. Simply watch. If you are able to complete 1 circle, 2 circle, 3 circle, 1, 2. But why am I doing like this? 2 seconds your mind will not remain thought-free. Achintya Rupam. And as a result, we go on projecting, imagining that, oh, I had the vision of God, and God said, hi, how are you? No, I said, but I don't understand English. I am from Varanasi. Tragedy. So, Achintya Rupam. Aditya Varnam Tamasap Parastat. Aditya Varnam, resplendent. But Tamasaha Parastat. See, very, very important. Sun is an enemy of darkness. Paramatma supports the brightness of the sun as well as the intensity of the darkness also. Unenemical to anything in this world. And therefore, the light of the reality is brighter than the sun. To make that blind king understand, Sanjay uses the words in the 11th chapter. That if simultaneously thousands of suns were to rise in the sky, what will be the brightness of the light? So much was the brightness of the Vishwarupa. What is meant is totally different. Because we are so blind that our understanding of brightness is only because of the reference of the sun. But if we are little contemplative, we understand that the brightest object in the world, the sun, is illumined by our eyes. Therefore, the light of the eyes is more powerful than the sunlight. And these eyes are illumined by the mind is illumined by the consciousness, and the consciousness is able to illuminate the brightness of the sun through the eyes and the absence of the light in the absence of the eyes. Therefore, tamasaha parastat, that absolute light can be described as only the dark light. So, aditya varnam tamasah parastat. Now, when you go on contemplating in this manner all the time, then prayana kale manasa chalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva bhrur madhe pranamavisha samyak satam param purusham upaiti divyam. So first, for the highest seeker, the teacher has given the line of contemplation. But for everybody, this is not possible. Thank God, Bhagavan has thought about us also. We were thinking it was really, really becoming difficult to digest even. I digest even to understand what is being said. And whenever our mind finds anything difficult to digest, it suggests, what is the time now? Isn't it? The mind is unable to grasp because it's all going 6 and 6 is one after another. Now, to the other type of student who doesn't have this stamina, in the 10th verse the teacher tells, which will take tomorrow with a fresh stamina. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.